Today we are going to talk about periods. So I decided to just do this in a separate video because it is something that I think is so common. I get this asked all the time, and it would just be so simple just to do it in a video on its own so that you can just like come to it, get the information, and you don't have to watch me vlogging my life away. And now I struggled with this from my eating disorder, but I also see this happen in the fitness industry where people get to an extremely low body fat or they're over exercising and they almost brush it off as I'm like, oh, this is normal, but it's not normal. If you don't have your period, it's not normal. There's many reasons why people lose their periods, and I think the most common one really has to do with their food intake. If you are restricting your calories, if you're on a diet, if you're not getting enough nourishment, vitamins, micronutrients, macronutrients, and all that stuff, you are basically depriving your body of what it needs to survive. You're not giving me enough fuel for the engine. So basically what your body does is it stops making all of these hormones, your period stops, and basically your body just kind of does what it needs to do to just survive. It can be losing weight too quickly. It can be being underweight. It can be your body going through a great amount of stress. It can be over exercising. It can be having a hormone imbalance. There can be so many reasons. And the first thing I want to say is I'm not a doctor, but I am going to tell you some things that did help me regain my period back after losing it for like 2 years almost. Number one thing, and the most important thing, is eating enough calories. So if you're coming from a very restrictive eating disorder, even if you're eating more calories than you were back then, let's say you're only eating 1,500 calories now, that's still not enough calories where your body feels safe. So you might be frustrated thinking, okay, well, I've increased my calories by X amount and I still don't have my period. Well, you have to understand that you have put your body through so much stress that it needs even more calories now to repair itself from the stress that you've caused it. And now not only do we need to be eating enough calories, but it's also super important that we are getting enough of the right kinds of foods. Now, for me personally, increasing my carbs and fats was so crucial. These are so important for your body, especially healthy fat. And I think people struggling with eating disorders have this notion that fat and carbs are going to make us fat. So those are basically the two macronutrient groups that we automatically cut out of our diets because we don't want to be fat. We need calories. We need calories for energy. We need calories to repair our bodies. And I'm not talking about calories coming from vegetables. Like, yes, that's important, but we need starches and fats and calories. I know eating more is scary, especially food that we don't normally eat, but it's so critical for our body and for our health. And if you want to get your period back, you're going to have to go through the uncomfortable of eating these kinds of foods. Another thing for me that was really important was eating more frequently. When we struggle with eating disorders, we almost subconsciously suppress our appetite to the point where we don't really get hungry throughout the day. And now not getting hungry throughout the day and not eating enough throughout the day and then eating kind of just at night, when we do this, your body is going so long without eating. It's like, where's the food? Putting your body through so much extra stress. And if you have a lot of stress in your life, that's another reason why people lose their periods, is because of stress. And now not eating throughout the day is putting your body through a great amount of stress. And so something that I tried to do was always have snacks on me, consistently trying to eat and also responding to my hunger. If I was hungry after breakfast, even though I'd just eaten, I would still respond to that by eating something. Basically, what we want to do is show our body that it can trust us. So if your body is hungry and we're responding to it, your body is now seeing that we are listening to it. So hopefully, eventually, it'll understand that it is safe. You don't have to be struggling with an eating disorder to lose your periods, but people actually have lost their period just from undergoing like so much stress from like work, job, family, just life in general, and trying to decrease it as much as possible. This one was really hard for me because something that I turned to when it came to stress was working out. We have to understand that working out is so good for our bodies, but when we are trying to repair our bodies, it's not ideal for us. So it's really important to try and find other things that can really de-stress you. Something that I started doing was buying like an adult coloring book and then just like doing that just to kind of like get my mind off of things. But it is very important that we don't just like turn to going on like an hour run when we're stressed out, because that's not going to help us getting our periods back. Another thing that we need to be honest with ourselves is if we are at a low body fat percentage. So us as females don't have enough body fat on our body. Your body is like, no, we're not in any position to be carrying a baby right now. And that's something that I dealt with. Is I gained back the weight I was pre-eating disorder, but my body fat was so much lower, and I was just like, why haven't I gotten my period back yet? I weigh more than I did when I had my period and I still don't have it back yet. And that's because my body fat was very low. So that's something to think about. If you're at a healthy weight for your body and you still don't have it back, maybe you are too lean for your body. You know, we all have kind of a body fat percentage that our bodies are comfortable at. And if your body isn't comfortable at the body fat percentage that you are at right now, you're gonna feel unsafe. And because of that, you aren't gonna get your period. Now, with all of this, you know, increasing my calories, eating more fats, eating more carbs, trying to gain some weight so that I wasn't so lean, all of this was very important. But to be completely honest with you guys, I went like a year doing this and I still didn't have my period back, and I was frustrated and I was mind boggled and I didn't understand. And I'm gonna tell you something that was like life altering, and it's not what I wanted to do. It's probably not what you want to hear, but I had to stop exercising. I don't know how many years ago it was, but I had to take a year off of exercise. I actually deleted my social media. If we are going to the gym every day, if we're lifting weights, if we're running, you are putting your body through so much stress. Your body right now should be using every single calorie and every single unit of energy to be repairing your organs. And when we spend all this time in the gym working out, those calories are going towards repairing your muscles and repairing what you've done in the gym, and there's nothing to repair you getting your period back. And I won't sugarcoat it, it was extremely hard, but you know what? After a few months of taking off from the gym, exercise in general, like I still went out to the store, I would walk to the store. It's not like I was sitting on the couch all day doing absolutely nothing, but when I stopped actually exercising, I got my period back. And to me, it was like, I was just like flabbergasted because I didn't realize, like if I had done that a year sooner, maybe I wouldn't have gone so long without my period. If you're struggling right now with getting your period back and you're eating more fats, you're eating enough calories, you're at a healthy weight, your body can still be under stress. You don't need to be underweight for your body to be under stress. So it's time to be honest with yourself. And if you are working out, your body is under stress. Taking a break from the gym is actually so crucial for your body to be able to repair itself, for your body to just chill, to sit, to use whatever energy you are giving it to repair itself, so that eventually your body can understand that it's not under stress, it's not, unhealthy, it's not in this danger zone, and then eventually get your period back. And something that was really hard for me to understand was that getting to, weight restored or a healthy weight and then my hormonal health, those were two very different things. Just because you gain weight doesn't mean you're automatically going to get your period back. You need to actually be good to your body and rest it and nourish it for you to be able to get your period back. Not only is getting your period super unhealthy, I know a lot of you probably think, oh, like you don't have to deal with bleeding, tampons, cramps, any of that stuff. But in the long run, there are so many health complications. The number one being osteoporosis. Is that how you say it? I hope so. I don't know. I apologize. I'm not saying that you can't ever exercise again in your life and that it's super unhealthy, because exercise is healthy, but when your body's trying to repair itself, it's not the best for it. And I now do exercise again, but this is now after a year of taking off from the gym to get my period back. And now I'm very in touch with my body. I'm a lot gentler with my body. I take rest days. I don't force myself to go to the gym. I'm not there as long. And for me, this is truly healthy for me. But I don't think that I would have ever regained my period if I didn't take that uncomfortable year off of fitness to really show my body that, you know what, I'm trying to do everything I need to be healthy again. And eventually I got my period back. So I hope this helped you guys, because it is something that is so common, and I know it's frustrating, and I know you're like, what? I'm at a healthy weight. But honestly, we just need to really commit and do whatever our bodies need to do to be healthy again. That's why it's so important not to compare ourselves, because healthy really does look different on everyone. You can be super lean and still have your period and be healthy, and then there's other people who can be like a healthy weight and then struggle because they still don't have their period. And honestly, we just have to do what is best for us. I hope you guys can take this to heart and be honest with yourself. And if you really want to get your period back, not only should you be making an appointment with your doctor, because that is like very crucial. Your doctor can help you so much more than my YouTube video can, but I do hope that these tips can help you increase your calories, eat more fat, and eventually hopefully take some time off of the gym. So that is it. That is all. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below. And I really would be happy to help any of you guys out. But the number one thing I gotta say, guys, was really just resting my body. Rest, and then eventually my period came back. So there you have it. I will see you guys in the next video. Love you so much.